Hey guys, welcome back. So in our last class, we've seen that we added one of the libraries called testing-g, right? This is a testing-g library that we added. Though we'll have a more detailed lecture in regards to testing-g frameworks, testing-g, what is testing-g, and using the testing-g, how we can create a dynamic, robust framework. But why we added testing-g and the use case for this particular the project will have a very high level about the testing-g. So we are going to use one of the features from the testing-g. So if we go to their regular their testing-g, to their official site testing-g.org, you can see that the testing-g is a testing framework or unit testing framework that's give a lot of features underneath the testing-g, like annotations. You can see there is a different type of annotation. You can see use a before class, after class, a group, and also testing-g listener. So we'll cover all those things in our upcoming classes, in our advanced class. For now, the reason why you use added testing-g has also another features which is called assertion. So testing-g has a two type of assertion. It's a hard assertion, soft assertion. We'll see those things. Like, what is assertion? Assertion is nothing. That assertion is one of the features that's help you to compare between your actual versus expectation. So example, this is your application and you have one message is called welcome to testing-g. So this is string. If you want to verify whether this string is displaying in your side or not, after you land on this side, and if you find this string, this element is displaying, then you can say it's matching with your expected result, and then you can say its test case is passed. Testing-g assertion does exactly the same job. It can do a comparison between your expected versus actual, and then based on the report it can say you whether test case is pass or fail. So we're going to use that feature. That's why we added testing-g in our project. Okay, so in our library on pom.xml file. Now let's get back to our class. So this is our class. If you remember in our last class, that's what we created. So here we're going to do one thing. So first, we need to execute our code, to do any automate. What do we need? We need to invoke a browser so that we can do some automation on the browser. So we need to invoke, right? So invoke browser. So invoke browser, assume that it's any browser like a Chrome or Firefox or Safari, any browser. So we have to test in different browser or any browser, right? So to invoke any browser, and what do you do? So we open a browser, example. So we open a browser, and then if we do automation or manual, it's the same thing we do. We open our browser, and then we type the URL of the application. Then we click on some of the button, say example, or any one of the functions. Say example over here, we on a search function, if we type postman, then hit enter, it's supposed to give me the response. So related article or blog related with the postman. So it shows it's right. So if you click on more, it should take me the details of the page. So example. So this is the same testing we can do manually as the same thing, same step we have to do automate. So it means the first things we have to invoke the browser, that browser we want to use to do our testing, and then perform some of the action. So like what type of action is clicking, typing in a search box, type in a field, check the drop down, check the link. Those things are all our actions. So for doing all different action in a web application, for any browser, Selenium, they have their some classes based on the different browser. What classes? It's a classes. It's example. It's called for the Chrome. it has a class. It's called ChromeDriver class. You can say class is called ChromeDriver. For Firefox, they have a class called it's a FirefoxDriver. For Safari, we have a SafariDriver class, and so on. So it means, and in those classes, we have it's already predefined, that those classes already comes with the Selenium, framework, so the Selenium API. When we added the Selenium Java, the jar or API, all those classes already, injected to our project, like Chrome, Firefox, all those classes. And in each and every classes, it's already defined lots of methods. Example, you can see lots of methods it comes with there. Here you can find lots of methods it comes with there, like add virtual authentication. There is a close method. There is, you will find execute method. You will find elements method, or find elements method, get method. You will find a close method, and so on. So all those methods, it's already defined inside this class, and each and every method does some job. So example, close method is close the browser. If you need to close any browser, all you have to just call this method from this class. If you need to find any element in your application, in your web application, we can use find element method. So find element method, then you have to pass the root path of this element, then it will find that element. Then you can apply any one of the action, like close action, so display action, whatever you want to do on that element, you can apply call the similar method, and it will do the job. So so those predefined methods already make our job easy. Okay, we don't have to create any define or declare any method that to close the browser. This method, close method, already have that code. All you have to call this method in our code, and then say what browser you want to, or it will close the current browser. It will close the current browser. In the find elements, we'll find the elements. It will pass the path of the element. It will find that element from that application. Okay, so all you have to know how to call those methods from this ChromeDriver class. It's same thing has happened for the FirefoxDriver. They have all similar type of method already predefined to do different action in your browser. So we have to, so what do you need to do? So to call any method from a class, we can create an object of that class, we know from the Java, and then use the object reference and call those method. Let's do this. So here we'll go, so first we'll create an object of a, say example, we're going to do our test in Chrome browser. So we're going to create an object of a Chrome browser, ChromeDriver class. So to define create an object of a class, what do? We use in Java new. New is a keyword that that define to declare a object of a class. So new, then ChromeDriver. So new ChromeDriver, right? And then this is the object of a ChromeDriver. And when you create an object of a class, you have to put in a variable or object reference. So let's declare a variable is called driver, and then you have to give a return type of this object. So what would be the return type of a object? Is the same class name, right? And then let's hover your mouse and then import related package, because this package for ChromeDriver, it's already in our project, but to get the knowledge of this class, all the method in this class, this class, you have to import the package. So that is a package, it comes over here. So now in this class, the class, my first test class, have the knowledge about your ChromeDriver class as well as all the methods inside. Okay, so now, so this part is the same thing you have to do if you want to do Firefox. So you can just create an object of the Firefox class, like in new FirefoxDriver, and put in the driver object, and then return type of the ChromeDriver. Okay, so so now, okay, let me write another object for the Firefox, for another browser. Let's see what new Firefox driver, and then puts in a variable like a driver, right? And then the return type would be the Firefox. So this will help you. You have to create an object of a Firefox driver if you want to execute your code on Firefox. So nowadays the application we have in the market, like it support most of the browser, whether it's Chrome, Firefox, Safari, all other driver too. I mean all other browser too. So, but in our automation code, we have to write in such a way so that your automation, the same script, can be applicable whether you run ChromeDriver or FirefoxDriver. All you have to make a central command so that you can just change the the browser names. Okay, so the browser name equals to Chrome, so it will automatically invoke use this ChromeDriver class and all the method inside that, and will applicable on the Chrome. Similarly Firefox. Okay, and then it will applicable on Firefox. So here is one key point, that now if this ChromeDriver class and FirefoxDriver class, if they have all the method inside have the common method, then all the lines of code, all the the action you apply, whether doesn't matter what browser, it's going to work in the same way. Otherwise, like if your ChromeDriver have some individual some of the isolated method which is different than FirefoxDriver, and if you use any one of the method from the ChromeDriver which doesn't match with the FirefoxDriver, that time that method will only work on the ChromeDriver. But if you run the same code using that method on Firefox browser, it's not going to work, because that method does not exist on FirefoxDriver. So then your common code is not going to work for every browser. But this is not the robust way to build your automation framework. The automation framework we have to build in such a way so that all of our code will be applicable, doesn't matter what browser. As long as we'll change the name of the browser, it will work on that. So it means all the method we're going to use over here to do some action in our browser, like whether close, whether open a browser, whether find elements, whether display, all those methods have to be common. We have to use only the common method between ChromeDriver class, FirefoxDriver class, or even a Safari class. Doesn't matter what driver class, have to be used the common method. So how we can isolate it, how we can ensure that whatever the driver methods we're going to use, say example driver dot, so you can say all the methods we're going to use, you can say get capable, get class. So it's a lot of methods over here, get title. So all those methods we have to ensure that we're calling using over here to do some performance. The common method between all the classes based on different browser. To ensure that we have to use over here instead of as our browsers the objects reference type, instead of using this, we are going to call another interface. Like interface is a class, it's called WebDriver. So WebDriver. So I will explain you what is a WebDriver. Okay, let me just make a comment, this Firefox one. So let's go their official website. So WebDriver, so this is the WebDriver. If you just search on Google WebDriver interface, it will give you that pages. Okay, WebDriver, this is the Selenium official document about the WebDriver. So what is WebDriver? So WebDriver is an interface. So if you've gone through Java classes, this interface is one of the important part of the Java OOPS principle. For just now, the WebDriver interface it's similar concept like a class, but it is a special type of class where it has, class is nothing, it's a combination of methods. So in a class you will have a lots of different type of method. So in this WebDriver class, it has lots of method. You can see those are the method: close method, find element method, elements, get current, and each and every method does some specific jobs. So close method, close the current window. Find element, it's help you to find the element in a web object. Get, it's run the invoke a browser to a specific URL, and then get title will get the title of your current browser. So each and every, all those methods it's inbuilt, comes with a WebDriver class. But why this WebDriver class is saying interface? Because if there is a class comes with the method, and those method are empty method, it's not implemented. So those method, they have the name, but the body is empty. The body is empty. It doesn't have the code, implemented code. How this close method is going to be work, it's not mentioned there. Method is empty. The code is empty. The execution code is empty. It just create the method with a purpose. It's a design concept level with the purpose. So what this method is going to do, it's saying that the purpose it's fixed, but the implementation is not done. The execution code is not there. It's keep it empty. Then how those method is going to work? So to work those method, this WebDriver class, it has some implementing or dependent class, where those method is also declared on those classes, and also including the implementing code. So here you can see all non-implementing class for this WebDriver. It's a ChromeDriver is one of them. Chromium driver, HDriver, FirefoxDriver, InternetExplorerDriver, you can see RemoteWebDriver, SafariDriver. So all different browser we have. As I said, we have a class in Selenium, and inside those class, we have the similar method. You will find the similar method like close find. If you go to the ChromeDriver now, this ChromeDriver class, and you will find you will find all those method over here. You can find is a close method. You can find that find element method, find elements method. So all this method is declared in WebDriver. All the method you will find here, including some of the individual method or some of the extra method from the ChromeDriver class. So inside those methods, so this close method, it has the code. You can see close method, it has actual code is defined. The quit method, get window handles method, those are the common method that's also declared in WebDriver without a body definition. But in ChromeDriver class have all the methods, same method with a body definition. It means how those method is going to work in Chrome browser, it has the related code is there. Similarly, in